Show.
Oh, welcome back, Eugene. Alive from the mountain.
Yeah, it was yes, what an episode. So if you just joined on, where we've got a bit of a echo. There you go. So if you just joined on, pop into the comments that you can join on from. If it's the first time that you're joining, just pop there in the comments when it's your first time that you're on. And so we've got a bit of a echo going. Cool. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. We've got a really cool show going. We've got some exciting news about our next couple of shows that's coming up. Some really cool presenters that we're really looking forward to. So just a cool couple of weeks coming forward. And then some of the big stuff is Christmas and Cyber Monday and Black Friday. So e-commerce, boom. This is like the
biggest sales day of the year. So ready to ramp up and get ready.
So I hope you guys, your online systems is up, your sales channels is up, your stores is up, because this is a time that you don't want to miss. So before we get into today's show, Willie, maybe just for the one or two new guys that's on here that hasn't joined a previous business show, just quickly give a rundown of who is Entrepreneur HQ, the famous, infamous Willie and Eugene. And then, what to expect from the business show. Big thank you for our sponsors.
Yeah, cool, guys. So EHQ is something which myself and Eugene founded a couple of years ago, and it really started as a thing where we discovered our common passion for entrepreneurship. And we kind of got talking, and we realized that entrepreneurship is quite a lonely journey, and we wanted to start a community for like-minded people. The other thing that we believe is you can actually fast-track your success if you have the right guidance of a coach or a mentor or someone that's actually done this before. Then we're also quite passionate about the digital space, and we firmly believe that that's the future. That's not the internet, that's me. So and that's really how EHQ started. And our mission is to help entrepreneurs grow and scale online, as we believe that's the future. So what do we do as a company? We do marketing funnels and systems. We automate them for our clients. We do lead generation, business coaching, and stuff like that. But one thing that we realized was that there's so many businesses that actually need help to get this journey kickstarted. And that's really where we sort of kind of sat and decided we want to start a digital academy mastermind. And it's really for the small to medium-sized businesses. And we actually have clients that's got big businesses that also find quite a lot of value in that to help these guys start their entrepreneurial journey. So I don't know, maybe Eugene, if we can just pop up a link for the guys during the show. If you guys want to join, you join. If you don't want to join another mastermind, but join a group, because you will find that the people that you hang out with is going to help you to elevate to the next level. So that's what we do as an organization. And then what's the Ask the Willie and Eugene show? That's just, that's our give back project. And it's what we do. We actually work at this job. We pay to work here. So, so we interview giants on a weekly basis. We've spoken about we can help you fast track things. These guys that we interview is guys that's really experts in their areas of where they've got a lot of expertise in. So that is in a nutshell what we do. So if you go away today with just one thing that you've learned, then we've achieved our goal for the day. I mentioned we pay to work at this show. Yeah. We can't really do this without sponsors. So for our sponsors, we just want to say thank you for helping us to get the word out there and to reach as many people. So Eugene, thanks, and let's jump into today's show.
Yeah, thanks, Willie. And I think that's an important point. Is we actually started this business show in the Mastermind Group and EHQ to help the smaller entrepreneurs who can't afford to pay someone 5 or 10 grand to do their marketing, or can't afford to pay 20 grand for a website or e-commerce store and stuff like that. Where we've got these courses that show you how to do it. So we wanted to help the smaller guys. And we created this mastermind with this WhatsApp group, and then people started networking. And what we actually found is there's a lot bigger businesses that's coming into this as well. So it's not just your small businesses that's struggling with this. It's actually any size business. And if you look at some of the businesses we coach, really 20, 30, 40 million rand businesses, and they sit with exactly the same issues. They still have issues with getting the right customer, deciding who's the customer avatar, etc., etc. So it really goes all the way. And today we're all the way. So, guys, so let's get into today's show. So today we've got the beautiful, the amazing Aren. So I've met Aren a couple of times through Tribe Up events. So we actually met at a Tribe Up event as well. And we've climbed a mountain together. So she was on the mountain last week as well.
Yay! Did you help Eugene? Because I'm sure he couldn't do it on his own.
Ian Fuiki. One step at a time.
How do you climb a mountain? Fuiki for Fuiki.
Yeah.
Songs there, but so before we get into it, I just want to mention really just what an amazing week this has been, from a business perspective. I mean, we launched that online store on Monday. We've already made quite a few sales out of that. Yep. I think over the last 2 or 3 weeks, for all the clients combined, we've generated over 1,000 leads for the clients that we do the marketing for them. We've launched another brand. We've managed to secure Robin Banks for next week's business show. I mean, that's next level. The #1 public speaking in South Africa is on the business show next week. It's just been an absolutely amazing week. And I wonder how much it has to do with Ian Fuiki on the mountain last week.
You had a lot of time to think about this.
Everything, Eugene.
So let's get into today's show. So today we've got Aren. Aren, thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining our show and sharing some of your stories with us and with our viewers this week. And firstly, just tell us a bit about Aren and what's your journey.
Super. So, Willie and Eugene, firstly, thank you very much for having me. And thank you for the lovely introduction. And yes, we were on the top of a mountain just a couple of days ago doing Ian Fuiki, and we made it. So just a little bit about myself. So yes, my name is Aren, and I'm a mother. I've got 2 little girls, and I'm the business unit manager for the luxury American brands for L'Oreal. So I'm extremely privileged to be there, and I've been at L'Oreal for about 9 years now. And I'm an amateur climber. When I say amateur, I think I've been in the game for about 2 months, so still learning the ropes. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm saying Eugene's the amateur.
No, he earned his stripes. This weekend.
Okay, good.
And I'm also an upriser. So I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit more about the uprising. I know Eugene obviously knows a little bit more about it, and he's been on a climb with us. And I joined my first climb with the uprising about a year ago. So lots of new exciting things happening. But yes, that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, it's really, really cool. So just to tell a quick story about the Ian Fuiki that you're joking about. Embarrass myself and get it over with, and then we can carry on with the show.
Do it. It's a good story.
So actually, yes, you don't think when someone tells you you're going to walk 10 kilometers, it's like, I run 10 kilometers in the morning. What does it matter?
Eugene, it wasn't 10 kilometers. It was 45. So maybe that's the first mistake.
So it was the first one. And I thought, 10 kilometers, this is going to be so easy. I'm not even fazed about it. And I must say, just even 2 or 3 kilometers in the mountain feels like 20 kilometers on the road. It's a massive difference. And so we're walking, I think it was on the second day, and we're walking over this plateau. And they're saying, no, we're walking to the ridge in the front there. And I look at the ridge, and I'm like, that's not even far, man. I'm quite tired, so I'm quite excited to get to the ridge. And after about half an hour of walking, it still looked exactly the same space away. Legs and everything was so numb. I was tired. It's the whole day of walking. And the only thing I could think of myself, I started singing the song. I'm like, Jan Fuiki, mooi, my sinkie. Jan Fuiki. And that's how it kept me going up until I reached the salvation. I saw someone throwing out the blankets for the tents and stuff, and I just felt like, thank goodness we made it.
It was tough. It was really tough. And Eugene, your sense of humor on that mountain, I think, got a lot of us through. So thanks. It was tough. I even thought it was tough. So
yeah, he actually messaged me and he said it was quite tough. I won't show you guys the message. That is, but let's just leave it there.
It was very tough. And I mean, day 2 was, it was about 30 Ks that we did on day 2. And we summited 2 mountains in 2 different
well done,
countries.
Guys.
So yeah, it was a hard time, and you're carrying about 15 kilograms on your back. So it's not for sissies.
It's not for sissies.
Well done, Eugene.
Well done to you as well, Aren.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. And we'll chat a bit about it now, Aren. I think before we get into that, there's Black Friday and Christmas and all this stuff's coming up now. So it's, I think, from a marketing perspective, to stand out above all this marketing that's going to happen over the next period is quite important. So I just want to take a few minutes and just chat a bit about the marketing. So I've actually worked with Aren, just for the viewers, I've worked with Aren on some marketing projects, and the marketing knowledge is really outstanding compared to a lot of the people that we normally work with. I spoke about stuff and I'm like, shit, she actually knows it. And then she talks about stuff and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's,
likewise, Eugene, we're learning from each other.
Yeah. So I want to take a bit of time to talk a bit about that. And so I just want to mention to the viewers to really take notes. If you've got a pen and paper, write down some of the stuff, because you're really going to learn some key critical things. Before we get into that, where did you learn all this stuff about the marketing, Aren?
So I've got a very interesting story, because I don't have a traditional background in marketing at all. I actually come from a background of health and wellness, and my sort of formative years were very much in a sales orientation. So what I learned very early on is that if you can sell yourself, you can sell anything. And I was very fortunate to end up in working sort of for the biggest cosmetic company in the world in a marketing capacity. And I think some of it was dumb luck, and some of it was just pure blind ambition and backing myself. So where I think I've been fortunate is I've always had a very, very strong self-belief, and I've always been able to sell myself. And I got given the opportunity to work for L'Oreal, and I sort of promised the world coming in, and I had huge shoes to fill, and I just had to hit the ground running. And so I'm someone who is very able to learn quickly. I surrounded myself with amazing mentors and people who could coach me and guide me. I am an avid reader and researcher, and so in the beginning it felt a little bit like fake it till you can make it. And
as we do,
sort of before I knew it, I was heading up marketing teams and managing brands, and it kind of feels like a little bit of a fluke, but I have worked incredibly hard to get where I am. And I think a lot of it has been really training on the job. So no, I don't have a formal marketing degree. I don't have an MBA, but I feel like I've earned my stripes sort of in the trade, the hardest way, sweat and tears.
Amazing.
That is the new age of learning. So myself and Willie is really firm believers in non-conventional education. And we actually see the guys attending this non-conventional education and workshops and boot camps and all that sort of stuff learn so much quicker, because you learn the stuff that's relevant now. You don't learn something that's in the textbook relevant 10 years ago. And stuff so quickly today. You can't go to a university and do a 4-year degree in marketing, for example, anymore. It just changes too quickly, because whatever is relevant today, the concepts stay the same. So it's important to learn the concepts, but to learn the actual, we're reading a book now. One of our guys that we follow quite a bit is a guy called Russell Brunson. And he wrote in his book that he's not going to talk about a specific platform, because by the time this thing launches, the book launches, there's 10 to 1 new platforms out there.
That's so true. What we went into COVID knowing is already archaic. And just in the last 60 days, how it's transformed the way that we work. So I think it's incredibly relevant to just to learn on the job, to learn from your peers. We're very fortunate in the environment that we're in with L'Oreal, that they believe in continuous education. So there are permanently courses that we're going on. So when I say I've got no formal education, I'm probably the most educated, uneducated person you'll ever find.
Yeah, but just to add to that, I had a discussion with someone. So I'm my formal education is an accountant, and I think a bit differently than other accountants. But our formal accountant can actually bog you down in certain things and stop you from thinking out of the box.
Yes.
I mean, I was speaking to Robin Banks' manager this morning, and we were talking about marketing, and she also said about how the traditional ways just did not work for them, and how they had to go to these unconventional methods to actually go and start building their business and building sales funnels and stuff like that. But
Very
it's
true.
amazing to hear that same story from someone else.
That's very. I like the little name drop there, by the way. You had to mention at the beginning. Loved it. Well done. Selling yourself.
Selling yourself. Aren, you actually mentioned something about mentors and coaches in this journey of yours. And it's one thing we speak quite often about, the people that you hang out with. How important is it for you to actually hang out with people that's more successful than you?
Super, super crucial. I think, there's that saying that you are a construct of the people that you spend 80% of your time with. And I really do believe that to be true. And networking is, honestly, as an entrepreneur, as a person of business, networking is absolutely crucial. And you've got to be around people who have big dreams and big ambitions, because it pushes you. And I think that if you think small and you hang around with people who are small-minded, you're just never going to challenge yourself. And so I've always very much sort of surrounded myself with people who are big thinking and who want to take things to the next level, whether it be family, whether it be friends, but mentors specifically. I think that I've been extremely lucky in my career to work with people who have seen value and who have seen merit and who have invested time and energy in taking me to the next level, because I am a very hungry person. I want to learn. I want to take myself to the next level. And if you invest time and energy in me, you're going to get it back tenfold. So I think it's incredibly important to surround yourself with those people, but also to recognize it in the people that are working alongside you, to recognize skill sets, and to mentor people along your journey, because that is all part of the process.
Yep. Give back.
Yeah. Always.
That whole journey of being mentored and stuff, if you didn't go through that whole journey, you wouldn't have lifted up to the level to be able to meet me. So that's really
Absolutely
cool.
And oh, thanks, Eugene. But I think what's super interesting as well is it's even the managers and mentors and people that you encounter in your career that challenge you the most. They're not necessarily the people that you like the most. It's the hard manager. It's the person that comes across your path that you really struggle with that often ends up teaching you the most. So I have to recognize that over my career, it's the people that have really gotten up there, in my grill, that have actually taught me the most. So and they give you a little bit of spice and a thicker skin, and so it's not always the person that you like that teaches you the most either.
Yes.
I actually told William on the mountain. So guys, if you haven't watched that business show, go check on our website under the business show. So William Butler, he's one of the founders of Uprising. He's one of my mentors as well, and I go to him for advice quite often, and I've known him for a good couple of years. And I never joke that I tell him is, dude, I love you. I don't really like you at this point in time. I love you.
I love it.
You need someone that pushes you to that level where you've got respect for them. They can push you, and they actually push you to the point where you're uncomfortable, where you're like, I don't really like you right now. But I don't like you right now. So
because when you're comfortable, you're not growing. You're
exactly. So I think I've heard a saying that said you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable in order for you to actually grow and go to the next level.
I agree. I've become very good at that. I'm uncomfortable all of the time, and I've just learned that that's the way it is. It's the way you grow. It's the way you learn.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Good. So we're getting into Black Friday and those things, and the biggest sales quarter of the year. For the guys that's on the show, where would you say they need to start when they start planning their marketing campaigns going forward now? And what tactics can they maybe use? You guys, for the guys that's on the show, so whenever your wife comes back with a L'Oreal packet, this is the person that you need to blame, eh?
Because you're worth it.
Because you're worth it. You see.
Okay, so I've got a very simple answer for you, and it's 2 words: brand plan. Brand plan, brand plan.
Okay.
It is like trying to reach a destination without a roadmap. If you do not have a brand plan, you're going nowhere. So it's really easy to get access to a very basic brand plan. If you've got someone who has studied marketing or who has done an MBA, you can get access to a very simple brand plan. You can Google one, you can download it. Very simply what it is, it's first of all defining what is the market, who's your competition, what are your own brand insights, what is the scalability of your business or your brand, what are your core strategic challenges, what is your unique selling point, what is your strategic focus, what is the cost model of the exercise, how profitable is it, what is the need state of your consumer, your A&P, your decision criteria. I mean, it encompasses so many different things. The brand plan is an exhausting process. If any of you have worked on a brand plan before, you know that it's hard work, it's hard graft. You've really got to go and understand the market. What is the CAGR? So how much is it growing by? What is the size of your audience? What is the size of your market? What is the trigger to make them purchase? And only then do you then start to work on your marketing plan. So a lot of marketers go wrong because that's where they start. They go, right, let's put together a marketing plan and a marketing strategy, and what are we going to launch, when are our promos going to be? That comes at the end. You have to work on the brand plan first. You've got to get those hard yards in. It's hard work. It's not fun. I personally love working on brand plans. I think I'm a bit of a
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear.
I do. I love it. I like getting into the nuts and bolts of what it is that I'm doing. And I mean, we've been doing it for the uprising this week with Eugene, and really just it's a massive market. It's actually been very fun. So I've been enjoying doing the research and really understanding the markets. And then it's working on things like, what is your mission statements? Who are your collaborators? Who are your partners? Who do you need in order to bring your vision to life? So brand plan. That's absolutely core to any sort of marketer's decision-making criteria, without a doubt.
Cool. Maybe just share a brand plan on our private WhatsApp group for the Mastermind members afterwards. Something else is how to create a compelling offer that I'll also share on the group. Guys, just remind me on the group afterwards. I see Mark, Sonia, Mark, everyone's Sonia. So after the show, guys, then I'll just send it on our private WhatsApp group. For the guys that aren't members yet, Willie mentioned that if you want to become a member of the Mastermind Group, it's $99 a month. You get access to our courses and our private WhatsApp group where myself and Willie's on, and we share a lot of the stuff on there as well. I'll put the offer on, and through the show you want to join up, you can just click on it and join it. But
amazing.
Stands out for me on this, Aren, is when we work together is how important your customer avatar is, like the person you targeting. Yeah. And then you had this, what's your activation and what is that stuff about? Or your activator, there's like a word for it, your art or something. But it's basically, who is your customer? Then what is the thing that's going to make them purchase? And then it's like this strategy thing that you explain. But
I think you're referring to the decision criteria of your customer. So your customer is going to have the decision criteria that they have. Often it's emotive. So what is the emotional need? What is the need state of your customer? What is and you almost need, it's an interesting practice as a marketer, because you almost need to think like your customer. You need to get yourself sort of into that mindset. Why? And if we're talking about uprising, what is their need state? What would trigger a person to climb a mountain, to hike 45 kilometers a day? what is that need state of that human being? And it's only when you can get yourself into the need state of your customer that you can put yourself into the best position to sell to that person and to market to that person, or to provide a business that is going to speak to that need.
Just FYI, I didn't even need state to go walk 45 kilometers. I was strict because they told me it was going to be fun.
We did. We did. We sold the fun, because you know what? Eugene, you'll understand. At the time, you're hating life. You're like, why am I doing this? Every step is like, it's pure torture. But the next day you wake up and you are like, and you look back and you're like, I hiked that mountain. And
amazing.
I climbed that. And I did it on my own 2 feet, Ian Fuiki, with 15 kilograms on my back. And you're like, yeah. And if I can do that, what more am I capable of doing?
Exactly. That's
also happened. So on that trip, one of the things I said is I can't wait to do this never again.
Well, that's what he said. That's what he said to me on Monday morning.
I can't wait to never do this again.
You will probably be climbing with us again on the 27th of November.
Yeah, I wasn't even all the way down the mountain yet. I wasn't even home yet. And I started planning, you know what, next time I go, I need to have this, and I need to have this, and I need to have this. Like, what did you do to me?
Yep, the bug bits. It's mountain madness, the bug bits.
No,
mountain madness.
Sorry, Willie, before you ask the question, I just want to, Muda's just asking, I've already joined, where do I join the WhatsApp group? So you should have got an automated email. And it's got a WhatsApp link, and if you click on that link, that's a link to join our group. That's a private link that you send. But maybe just send me an email afterwards, after the business show as well, and then I'll just refer you, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a logins for your course in the WhatsApp group, and we add you to our meeting invite for our Zoom session and stuff like that. So maybe just send me an email, Muda, so I can send you all the details again, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that you need to log into. So, but I'll send it to you after the show. Cool, Billy, go for it.
Cool, Aren. You were saying about you need to identify the need state of your clients. That's really the problem that you identify, and once you've done that, then you can position your solution, eh?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. Okay, cool. Tell me, 2 or 3 do's and don'ts for the guys that's going to be doing marketing now.
Okay. So I think 3 simple things, and guys, I started the show by saying I have not studied marketing. I don't have an MBA. I don't have all the answers. But for me personally, what I can say is that you can have the most incredible brand plan. You could have sat and worked on it all through the night for months on end. You've got this incredible strategy, but you don't know what your message is. You don't have a pitch. And I mean, I remember when I was in sales, you had to have your elevator pitch. I used to have managers that used to sit there with their stopwatches, timing me, going, Aren, you got 10 seconds to sell me this pen. And I used to curse them. I used to hate those people. But it's so important, because your message and your pitch is what drives that vision forward. So you've done your brand plan. You've done all your work. Now, what is your message? So we experienced this in the week when we were looking for our sponsors for the Uprising. You're going to phone that person up out the blue. Sometimes it's a cold call. That person doesn't know who you are. What is your message and what is your pitch? How do you get that across and make it extremely clear? Don't overwhelm them with facts. How do you make it extremely clear and get that fish to bite? Secondly, be authentic. Like, don't try and sell something that you're not. You have to be authentic. I sometimes really attribute my success to the fact that I feel that I am extremely authentic, and I am what I am, and I'm not going to pretend to be anything else. And I think sometimes people are just like, oh, shame, this chick's really trying, you know. And then I think the third point for me, and this is so super crucial, and I think we've really found this this week, is the whole story with the buying funnel. Is when you get to the bottom of that funnel, you have to follow up. You have to be consistent, and you have to be reliable. So you can put all of your good intentions out there to get the leads, to get the business, but if you don't follow up, if you're not consistent and you're not reliable, you're going to lose the business, and it's all going to have been for nothing. So you have to have that follow through. That's got to be kind of the last and most important step in the process for me.
How much of your sales success, because you've got quite a high sales success rate, how much of that would you attribute because of looking like Charlize Theron?
Stop it. You know, Eugene, it's funny because I actually have a great success rate with women. It's funny. Like people will go, oh, you're sending a blonde in to go and close the deal with a guy, like it's in the bag. But and then you can send a woman in who's probably going to be threatening and be shot down. But
yeah, but they want freebies from you. They want freebies from you.
I think I've got a good success rate with women, and I think it's because, again, I'm coming to the table. I'm authentic. I'm human. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. I'm a good networker. As I said, I don't have the formal education, but wow, can I build a relationship with you? Like networking is absolutely essential if you're going to be a marketer or if you're going to be an entrepreneur, anyone in this game. You have to know how to build a relationship. And it's often those really uncomfortable situations where you put into a boardroom with like 100 people you don't know, and suddenly you got to go around and make cheesy conversation. I hated that when I started, but now you put me in that environment and I'm like the happiest person because I've become good at networking. And the only way to become good at networking is to practice and be uncomfortable, as we spoke about earlier in the session. So I think my success rate is, thank you, Eugene, very sweet. But I think it is also, it's my persistence, it's my passion. I never do anything I don't believe in. So if I come to talk to you about something and I'm passionate about it, wow, you're gonna buy into it because I'm not trying to sell something that I don't believe in 100%.
So can I put you on the spot?
Can you put down the squats?
No, can I put you on the spot?
Oh, put me on this. I'm like, I'll do squats. Let's go. Okay.
You can do that as well, but so what's your elevator pitch?
Oh, my elevator pitch. Okay, we need to give me something to sell though.
Well, you walked into a pen, yes.
Okay. Eugene. Hi, Eugene. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks, New.
I'm good. Eugene, do you have a pen for me?
No.
Here you go. Supply and demand.
Thank you.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am really just talking about the network and stuff. Just a tip for all the guys. I think that's probably been two of our biggest reasons for success. Number one is we are authentic. I mean, Willie sitting there with a t-shirt and a cap presenting a business show.
and Eugene, you're singing Ian Fuiki.
And second is our network. I mean, we've done about 25 business shows now. And every single person that's been on the business show, plus the next 3 months is booked out, all of them are really high-level successful entrepreneurs or in a specific section where they're doing really well or whatever the case may be. And everyone's someone that myself or Willie knows personally. And that's come from our own internal network that we've built over the last 10 years, which is
amazing.
It is the reason for our success. Now we can launch a show like this because of the network that we've built up. And but we spent a lot of time on that. It wasn't just all of a chance we get it. It was attending business events. It's going to international entrepreneur events, which cost a fortune. Going to boot camps that you pay 5 or 10 grand for a weekend. But the connections and the network that you build up out of each one of those is just unbelievable. And that's the reason the point we can.
And I think the mistake that guys make is they go to one event and they're looking for this instant gratification, and I'm going to go there and everything's just going to explode. And that's not really how it works, you know. I mean, we've been at this for quite a while now, and now, you know, the longer we continue with this, the exponential growth we're seeing in terms of the way that our network expands is just amazing, Eugene. So I think that's just something that I can say to the viewers is if you're looking for instant gratification, then the networking or having a business is maybe not for you, because it's work. Even if you go online, even if you've got the biggest, boldest marketing teams, it's really, yeah, that's how it is. It's just, you must just stick in there. And I think you said, Eugene, I became, what's that thing about becoming successful?
For 10 years and then became an overnight success.
That's it.
Yeah. So Dave Ramsey also says that we failed in business. He started a new business. He bankrupt, and then he started again, and he went through this whole process, and then he was featured on Oprah, and he was on 20 Minutes and Larry King and all this stuff in a week. And they're like, yeah, you are overnight success. He's like, yeah, I worked my butt off for 20 years to become an overnight success. So, Willie, before we go on, I think the next step, I want to chat quickly a bit about Uprising. Before we go on, just quickly, Stephen, will you just send me a private message with your number?
And sometimes...
Yes. Stephen, I see you've registered last Monday but didn't receive an email. You sent me an email. I replied to the email to ask you for your telephone number and stuff, but I haven't received the reply. So maybe just send me your telephone number so I can just give you a shout after the show. Thanks, Stephen. So let's get into Uprising. Just tell us a bit about your involvement in Uprising, Aren. Oh, it's been frozen. It's my screen.
Hello, Aren.
Cool. So, Aren, tell us a bit about
my favorite topic. Hello. Okay. So, it's super interesting. So, I went on my first hike with Uprising in October of last year, and I think I was kind of in a very transitional place in my life, and I knew that something needed to change. I just didn't know what. And I headed on this adventure. I didn't know what to expect, much like you, Eugene. I kind of got there and I was like, oh my gosh, and it's so overwhelming and it's so physically tough. And I reached the top of the mountain. We summited Mafadi. It's the highest mountain in South Africa. I think it's about 3,400, something like that, meters. So it's a tough climb. And I got to the top of that mountain and I completely broke. And it took me a good hour to kind of just get myself back together again. And I knew that I was going to transform on the top of that mountain. I just didn't know how much. And I came back from that climb and I was different. A huge shift had happened. And suddenly the old life that I had didn't fit anymore. And some of the people that I had in my life didn't fit anymore. And I had changed. And I learned something so fundamental on that mountain. And there's that quote that they say, is that the mountain is not about escaping life, but it's about life not escaping us. And I think that I was just going through the motions of life, and I wasn't living. I wasn't in my zone. And I think going up that mountain really just showed me, it cracked me open. It showed me my true grit. It showed me what I was made of, and it also showed me that I was living such a small life. And it was after that climb that I really decided to get involved with the Uprising. I've gone on all of their climbs since. I've now become a member of the team of Uprising. I don't think they could get rid of me. They were like, shame, this girl really loves it. Like, let's just give her like a nominal entry to come on board and assist us, because I was just so passionate. And, what we're going to be launching next year, which I'm extremely excited about, is we're going to be launching the 9 Peak series. So what this is, it's about summiting the 9 highest peaks in South Africa. And we do it over 5 climbs, so 5 trips. So basically every second month of next year, we're going to be summiting a mountain or 2, depending on the length of the trip. And it's about summiting all high of those 9 highest peaks. We're going to be doing some other exciting stuff, like we're going to be climbing up Kilimanjaro in March for International Women's Day with an all-female team with female porters. And I mean, that's really what we learned on this last trip, is that when women stand together, we can achieve amazing things. And I'm not a feminist. I'm not just saying only women can achieve amazing things, but I really think that there's such an incredible thing that happens when women stand together. And that was something that we really experienced to another level on this last trip. And I'm excited for Kilimanjaro. We're also doing Everest Base Camp next year. So they're really going to be exciting climbs. And really what the point is you can't force someone to change. You can't transform somebody else. They have to make that decision for themselves. But you are giving them a catalyst. You are giving them an opportunity to grow and to learn and to become something bigger and better. And we are hoping to do that one summit at a time, one mountain at a time. And I mean, just on this recent trip, Eugene, I mean, you saw for yourself the personal transformation one undertakes, and to see some of those women that came on the climb with us who have come down since and now they want to rebrand themselves. They want to sit with me and they want to do a business plan on who are you. They don't like what they're presenting to the world anymore, and they want to be something different. They want to be something more. And I think this is what the power of Uprising is all about. So guys, if you want to check it out, you can go to on Instagram or on Facebook. It's Uprising ZA. So you can check it out. You can also email info@uprisingza.com. A beautiful woman there called Michelle is going to contact you and give you the information and insights that you need. But there really is such exciting stuff happening for us next year. And you spoke about a Tribe Up event, Eugene. That's something else that we do every second month when we're not climbing mountains. We're hosting events called Tribe Up. And this is really where you get exposure to amazing people who have done amazing things. We had Lesego Zulu on the last talk that we had, and we had Rob Bentley, winner of Survivor. So you really do meet extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. And it's a networking opportunity to expose you to new, exciting people and opportunities. So that's a little, if you let me carry on, Eugene, I will just carry on and on and on. So if you want to ask me a last question, because I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool thing. I'm a big fan of the networking part, and that's why we created our own networking group. We actually want to create like our own little economy. So all of us, we do, because we've got 100 members now in our group. So it's all of us do business together. So we're supporting each other. And through that, we almost creating our own little mini economy. So when I want a printing service, for example, I go look in our group first before I go check something outside. If I need an interior designer, so we kind of all support each other and stuff. And that's where networking comes in. It's absolutely critical. So we'll share details on our group as well, Aren, for the next Tribe Up event.
I love it. The power of networking is so crucial.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Willie, you've got another question? I think we've got time for one question.
Yeah, maybe so one last piece of advice for our viewers. Anything.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be business, doesn't have to be marketing. If one piece of advice to all of our viewers.
What's it? Sorry, you broke.
Absolutely. So it's so simple again, and that I am simple in the way that I come across. So you have to back yourself. You have to back yourself in life. Nobody else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to put you up there, put you on that mountain. Make sure that you wake up in the morning and you achieve what you need to do. You have to back yourself. So you have to love yourself, and you have to start that day with intention, with mindfulness, and with gratitude. It is an absolute, those three things. If you can just start every day, not just flustering, your alarms going off and you stumbling out of bed, and then the whole day just ends up being this mad rush. It's waking up a little earlier than you have to. It's setting your intentions for the day. What do I want to achieve in this day? Get your mindfulness in place. So everything that you do needs to be intentional. And then having gratitude, saying thank you, and helping other people. I think the more that you can help other people, the more you're helping yourself in the end, because the universe is one big giant magnet. So if you are approaching life and the world with energy and excitement and gratitude, it just comes back tenfold. So, I mean, I'm reading a book at the moment that was given to me by William Butler called The Magic, and it's got a 28 days of transformation challenge, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's not for everybody. You've got to be ready. You've got to be in the right headspace for it. But The Magic, highly recommend.
Wow, thanks so much, Aren, and thanks for taking time to come and to chat to our viewers.
I've got one more.
It was a privilege. It was wonderful, and I'm looking forward to all of the new and exciting things that are coming. We're going to take everyone up the mountain.
Hey!
I've got one more question, Aren, before you
I've lost
jump
you.
off. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe she hears me, maybe not. Hopefully she does. One more question is, what is your next adventure? What's your biggest adventure for the future for yourself? What's something that you're really looking forward to? It can be next year or even 5 years from now.
So I think for us, I mean, our next immediate adventure is we're going to be doing a climb on the 27th of November. We're going to be summiting the highest points in the North and Western Cape. So it's going to be a trip to the Karoo, and we are going to be summiting Severviekskoop and or Severviekspoort, sorry, and Merch Point. So that's the first immediate adventure. So I'm super excited for that. We're going to be again summiting 2 mountains in one day, Eugene, if you want to come. And then for me, I think,
now that I think about it. So.
And then I think the big one for me next year is going to be Kilimanjaro and potentially Everest Base Camp. So those are two big climbs. And yeah, many more to come. I want to climb everything that's stationary long enough. Take me to the mountains.
Very cool. Guys, I think that's it. We've reached the end of our show. So firstly, thank you for joining us on the show today. It was absolutely amazing. And then my legend partner, business partner, Willie. Big up.
Aren, you have to do the fist bump.
The EHQ.
We lost her. Everyone, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for turning up. Without you guys, there will be no show. Aren, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for your time. Yeah. Speak soon, and good luck with all your adventures.
Comments and stuff on you as well.
Thanks, Willie.
If you do want to reach out to us, just reach out to us on our Facebook group.
Okay, guys.
Cheers, Aren. So for the other members that do want to reach out to us, reach out to our Facebook group where you can comment us, or you can comment us on Facebook Messenger, or alternatively is you can just send us an email on our website. So go onto our website, entrepreneurhq.co.za, and just contact us through the website as well. But otherwise, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. Hope you join our show next week. We've got Robin Banks on next week, guys. A show that you cannot miss. It's going to be a next show. So awesome, guys. Until next week.
Cheers, guys. Next week, partner. Keep well. Cheers, Aren. Bye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Boom. Bye.
Boom.